Welcome back to the Weekend Review, where it's time to look at the league leaders. Liverpool travel. Well, you can't blame Roy Hodgson for saying that. He's on that list, but Jurgen Klopp now with the most Premier League wins as Liverpool managers, going ahead of Rafa Benitez. Don, I wonder whether you think that the excitement, the confidence, the buoyancy of the late win against Tottenham, in a way, has explained what happened at Selhurst Park, because they took that form in. We're top of the league again. You know, we're back a little bit, and they're suddenly firing.
I just had the feeling, going to the stadium and commentating on the game midweek against Tottenham, that it was going to be, in the next couple of weeks, moving weeks for Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, West Brom and Newcastle next, some serious points they can put on the board. But they had to go away from home, which they've been quite poor. I think they were fifth bottom away from home on the form guide. So that was an important win. Drew against Fulham the week earlier away from home. And that was a chance for Liverpool to put a real statement win. You know, I can imagine Guardiola's assistant and Jose's assistant saying, Liverpool have just won 7. Who's going to tell the boss? I'm not telling him. You tell him.
Just pretend it hasn't happened.
Because they're going to... What was the scoreline at Selhurst Park? 7. Dion, you tell him.
No,
I'm not telling him. So they would have thought, before the game, like I did, I was a bit confused. I thought, if Liverpool are not at this game, Crystal Palace could maybe win it or nick a point.
They played really well against Tottenham the week before, and got a good point.
And in all honesty, when the game was unfolding, there was a shot of Roy Hodgson laughing. And that's all he could do, because Liverpool took the lead and went 1-0 up. But I promise you, Crystal Palace had 3 or 4 excellent chances that they probably should have been 1-1 or 2-1.
Yes, when Ayew passed it behind Zaha, great chance.
Loads of good moments in the game, just couldn't find that final ball. And then Liverpool went 2-0. Palace a little bit more, and then in the end, you're just looking at the game going, it's going to be one of them games. Liverpool are just absolutely ruthless. Second half, I mean, Liverpool was sensational. And I watched Jurgen Klopp before the game, and Liverpool were doing a warm-up in their half, and Crystal Palace were in their half, and they were all doing their sort of 5v2s, and strikers were, you know, finishing, and wide players were putting crosses in. Jurgen Klopp stood on the halfway line, ignored his own team, and he was just staring down at the Crystal Palace players warming up. And he wanted to be seen. He was very, very intimidating.
He does that quite a lot, doesn't he? It's a good one.
And he was hoping that he was going to be spotted.
Yeah.
Probably was.
Yeah.
Probably was.
You want to pick out Jordan Henderson's positioning. Again, you said that Liverpool, when they were warming up, were concentrating on this sort of thing.
Yeah, when they were warming up, they were doing lots of crossing and shooting. And I want to highlight Jordan Henderson and the way he played, being a central midfield player myself. And going through the decades, I don't think I've ever seen... Mane was brilliant. Naby Keita was excellent. Firmino got his goals. Salah got his goals. But as a midfield player...
So, because I don't think he's actually got a position. I think the manager allows Henderson to go everywhere, to do whatever he wants to affect the game of
because
football.
He's got such trust in him.
Because he's got so much trust. That's why their relationship is so good.
You talk about Jordan Henderson being everywhere. Have a look at his touch map here, Dion. You know, if you try and paint a picture, if a central midfield player with an 8 on his back, all his touches would have been centrally, give or take 10 yards that way, 10 yards that way, 10 yards that way, in a big sort of rectangle in the middle of the park.
In that channel, sort of like there.
Look where he's spending that left side, Dion. Look where he's spending touches right side, because he knows the fullbacks are probably there. And they're going that way.
So he's probably adjusting to where his teammates are.
Yes.
And where the danger may be.
So filling in there if necessary.
Absolutely. Or they will see where the skipper is and they will go, right, the captain's here, I'm safe, I can go.
More touches than anyone on the pitch.
Wow, look at
brilliant,
that.
absolutely brilliant. It's a captain's performance.
It's 1.5 a minute is a lot, isn't it? Let's talk
incredible.
about Firmino. Again, we're talking about confidence and that late header, the winner against Tottenham. Because a month ago, we were like, Firmino's not really at it. Jota's been brilliant. Is Jota now worthy of a place instead of Firmino? You know, we had a laugh a few months ago about Thiago's velvet touch. Well, that's a velvet touch.
Well, Rashford had one last week, didn't he, where he had a beautiful touch over the shoulder. This, when you see all them shirts flooding forward, it's very easy for someone like Firmino, or not Firmino, someone like, in our case, to get excited and take a heavy touch.
Yeah.
He's got to take the softest touch that you can ever imagine. I was explaining this to my lad the other day, and what you've got to almost do, Mark, is you've got to have the feeling that you're going to under-hit your touch.
Yeah.
Because it'll arrive exactly where you want it. If you take what we perceive as a normal touch, it'll end up being heavy.
Yeah, it'll bounce away from you.
Yeah, so and his performance was brilliant. It was exceptional against Tottenham. Got his goals again. Just played, you know, with so much confidence.
Both Firmino's goals, breakaway goals.
Yeah, and
counter-attacking goals.
And they do it so well, don't they? I mean, his touch, the pass, the runs, the movement, everything works. Salah gets himself into his favourite position, finds him there. The first touch is great. The second touch, I mean, he takes it so close to the keeper. I'm thinking maybe the chance is gone. And then you just see him lift it. He just gets underneath a little pitching wedge there, just in front of the keeper, and lifts it. That's just football intelligence. That's going ice cold in front of goal. He does all the hard things very, very easily. You know, that is not easy.
That's why there's never a question. Whenever this guy's, I say out of form, and I say that loosely in terms of he's not scoring goals, you've got to appreciate what he does for Salah, for Jota, for Mane, for all the players, Minamino, that goes forward. All comes through his game intelligence. Plays as a 9, he drops back in a bit deeper as a 10, he even goes back into an 8 position, and everyone just takes their cues from his position.
Yeah. Brilliant. Amazing. The same weekend, earlier in the season, they conceded 7, United conceded 6. The same weekend, this time, they score 6 and 7.
Goal difference is all the way back.
No, goal difference, clawed back.
All the way back.
Clawed back. Right, let's bring you the action from St Mary's now. Southampton and Manchester City. Jim Proudfoot and Matt Holland with this one.